Let's see what we got. Hey everybody, I'm not going anywhere tonight. I'm just giving you a quick preview while I do some testing. I'm uh, I'm actually taking a look at a bridge between X-Plane and MS-2020, and I'm going to be bouncing around to a few different airports just to take a look and see if the coordinates are going to match up. So let's go to X-Plane and change our position. Right now we were at Vegas. I'm gonna go out to let's go out to LAX and 7 left. Continue, start new, and start. MS 2020 is on the left and X-Plane is on the right. It's going to take a little while for this to load in between airports, but I'm just doing some testing. I hope the audio is working here. I've been having issues. Okay, it looks like we just made our jump. And MS 2020 on the left is still loading up. So LAX is a pretty good match. All right, let's go take a look. How about we go to San Diego? What's great about this, if this does work and there's no stutters or flickers, when it's all said and done and finished, it's going to allow me and others to use the Zebo mod, FDS to XP, ZHSI, with X-Plane controlling the show, and us getting the nice visuals from MS 2020. Alright, these runways match up in San Diego. And I've got the graphics turned down on the right in X-Plane, so don't look at X-Plane and go, oh, it looks terrible, because I've got everything turned down because there's no need for the stuff to be turned up. It's just for the coordinates for the aircraft. Alright, where to next? It's going to be pretty boring. This is just jumping from one place to another to see if I can find issues. If you got some place you want to see, let me know. Let's see. Let's go to Seattle. Start new. So far, looking pretty good. Now, if these airports line up, then the ILS should line up as well. That one might be off a touch. No, maybe not. All right. Let's keep going. Where to next? Let's go to Dallas. How about Dallas? So the bridge certainly looks like it's working. It's in its infant stages. It's lining up beautifully, and so the two of them are following along. Big thing is going to be whether or not there's going to be stutters when it's all done. But this is looking pretty good. And Microsoft is on the left. Alright, so that looks pretty good. How about we go to Dallas Fort Worth? Alright, DFW. Looks pretty good. This looks like it's working out fine. Alright. Where to next? How about MDW? 3-1 right? Yeah, okay, why not? So this is Dallas Fort Worth. X-Plane on the right. That's looking pretty good. Alright. How about ORD? So far, I really haven't found any issues between the two with the link as far as alignment issues for the most part. No, we're looking pretty good. Alright. Where to next? we hit Vegas. One left, yeah, that's fine. Now, what would be nice about this bridge is, well, I'd save $1,600. I wouldn't have to purchase ProSim. And the biggest thing is I get to keep this Evo mod 738 along with ZHSI and FDS to XP. So we're up at Vegas on the right. And it looks like it's filling in on the left as well. Just fine. Looking pretty good. All right. Let's go hit JFK. I guess we can hit all three of them. We'll hit Newark and we'll hit LaGuardia. So far, I don't think I've found anything that's an issue. MS 2020 has been following right along with that bridge. And all the airports checked so far line up. This is Kennedy. Alright, let's go take a look at LaGuardia. I don't think we're going to find any issues here. Everything is looking just fine. KLGA. So far, the two of them have been playing nice, and neither one of them have crashed. And I've been to multiple airports now, just bumping around. So we are looking pretty good. Let's go hit Newark. This is the boring stuff. There's the man himself. I didn't want to mention your name. I wasn't sure if you wanted anybody to know yet, but say hi to Mr. Odom there. He's the brains behind this bridge. And so far it's been behaving beautifully. I've checked numerous airports. Everything seems to line up beautifully. How about we go hit Boston? But I really don't think we're going to find an issue between the two of these. And we'll go take a look at San Juan next. Then maybe go out to St. Martin. And that looks fine. Looking good. Alright, let's go hit TNCM. How about we go to Juliana first, and then we'll go hit San Juan. But this is looking real good. Right on the money. Look at that. Very nice. Alright, how about San Juan now? Runway 8 is fine. Looking good. How about we go to Cancun? Let's take a look at Cancun. Cancun looks good. KPBI, how about that? West Palm, my airport. No, one of mine. How about 28 right? Beautiful. Let's go to, how about Boston? I don't know if I've been to Boston yet. I should go check iSlip because I know I'll be doing that run a few times in the flight deck. Yeah, Jim. Mr. Odom up there. We've been going back and forth on Discord. And yeah, he's come a long way in a very short period of time with this. Which would be amazing to get this working. think we'd get the best of both worlds. We get the Zebo mod, and we get the real-time world graphics. That looks pretty good too. I'm just checking alignment issues, Jim. I'm not really going anywhere. But I haven't found a problem yet. Let's see, where else? How about Tampa? She's definitely been behaving herself, that's for sure. And I'm surprised. I've jumped to numerous airports. Neither one of these have crashed. It looks like we're good in Tampa too. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, Jim. This is definitely a step in the right direction, that's for sure. No doubt about it. Where to next? Jacksonville. One good thing is no issues so far. Everything is lined up beautifully. Very nice. Very nice. So that means the ILS should work just fine in X-Plane. Okay, let's shoot up to Canada. CYYZ. Go to Pearson. The glass screens you see there aren't hooked up. They're set up to ProSim. They're just sitting down there. Yeah, they're not doing anything. Right now, the two top screens are what I'm working with. So I got X-Plane on the left, or I mean MS-2020 on the left, and X-Plane on the right. But I've got all the graphics turned down on the right in X-Plane, so don't try and compare the graphics and say one's way better than the other, because I got a lot of stuff turned down, so really not a fair comparison. That's looking pretty good. We're right on the money. Really haven't found anything yet. Where to next? Denver. How about Denver? We'll check a few more before calling it a day. But this is looking real good, man. Denver's looking pretty good. Takes a little while for it to get settled in, though. Not bad. All right, how about Salt Lake City? How about Phoenix, PHX. Yeah, we can go there next. Wow, the clouds look wicked here. Okay, let's go to Phoenix. It's lining up good. Looks like that's going to line up just fine. That's looking pretty good. So where else? How about we go Louisville. So X-Plane here you see is on the right. And this is what I'm using that's going to be controlling the aircraft. X-Plane is going to control everything with the bridge. And MS-2020 is just going to follow along with the graphics. That's the idea. So we get to use the Zibo mod airliner with FDS to XP to control the flight deck, ZHSI frog glass screens, and we get MS-2020 visuals. And let that load up. That's looking pretty good too. Well, X-Plane 12 is the master, Pat. That controls the show. And that's on the right. That has ZHSI, FDS to XP, the Zibo mod. Basically, if you're flying X-Plane, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm flying X-Plane. The only thing MS-2020 is doing on the left is just following along with the visual. So, when it's all said and done, you minimize X-Plane on the right, you open up MS-2020 on your screens, and you're flying an X-Plane with the MS-2020 visuals. That's the idea. Now, it does move along. If we try and move, the aircraft will move, but we still have some stutters. And like I said, it's early. I don't know if I can get in here and put my... Can I reach these brakes and turn them off? There we go. As you can see, they're both moving, but we still have to work out this. I say we, right? I'm just lucky enough to be a part of this. But as you can see, they do follow along. Now it's just getting rid of the stutters. Get rid of the stutters, and we're done. We have the best of both worlds. Well, in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, you can run it on a different machine. The bridge is actually capable of running. When you first run the bridge, it's going to ask you for an IP address. So if you're on a local machine, it would be the 127, and if you're on a network, then it would be the network IP address to the server, which would be X-Plane. But this is looking pretty good. I don't know where else to check, but everything has looked pretty good. The only thing is getting rid of any stutters that may exist between these two talking to one another. So hopefully that'll be able to get worked out. And if that's the case, for those of you flying a full flight deck like me, I know like Pat is and Jim and a few other individuals, you won't have to pony up $1,600 for ProSim to get into MS 2020 and be able to use the bridge, and we get the best of both worlds. So I think I'm just about done here. This is looking pretty good. I think Mr. Odom was in here a little bit earlier too. I think he had a peek to see just what the progress looked like as well. And well, it's a pretty good start. So I'll catch you on my next run, everybody. Unless you have any questions you want to ask, there's really not much I can talk about this other than what you can see right now. You know, one PC. I will have one computer running the left, center, and right display in 2020. And then one computer will run X-Plane and the glass screens. So you could run it on two. But I plan on running three. The network bridge runs on the computer where your X-Plane is. And all it is an exe file. And when it opens up, you'll get like a DOS window. And it's going to ask you for the IP address. All you have to do is put in the IP address of your MS 2020 computer, and that's it. Are your sounds off or my sounds off, Jim? Yeah, it only runs on the master computer. The bridge is on the same computer as your X-Plane computer, Pat. And it only runs on where your X-Plane is. Yeah, your PC setup is fine. The only thing you're going to end up doing is just purchase MS 2020 if you don't have it, open it up, run the bridge, and that's it. Oh, it was on your end, Jim. Oh, okay. Yeah, Pat, it's just a small little folder that has a couple of files in it. It runs via SimConnect. Well, Pat, you've been all over the place. Give me some airport that's got like some rocky, nasty type of elevation to check this. Everywhere else I've been, Pat, everything's looked good. The airports have matched up beautifully. So I know you've been all over the place. So I know you got a couple of airports. Give me some codes. I'll go take a look and see if the elevation data is bad. No, MS 2020, one copy. One copy of 2020, one copy of X-Plane. There you go, from the man himself. Yep, as long as it's on the network. Which is rather nice because if you can have X-Plane on its own computer, it's not using up any resources that you can use for 2020. Since 2020 has to run the three visual computers. So that would be ideal. Just have the one computer running the three visuals, and that's it. Have X-Plane on another computer with all the hardware plugged into it running the bridge, and then a third computer running your glass screens. You could even break up your glass screens because X-Plane's going to be running at minimum graphics. Everything will be full left. You don't need anything turned up on that computer. So this is looking very, very promising. That's for sure. All right, everybody. I'm going to shut it down. For those of you that were here, I'm glad you joined me. And Mr. Odom, you the man. You know, this is definitely would not be possible without you. No doubt about it. So, all right, everybody. I will catch you on my next run, man. Thanks for joining me.